Welcome to the Woodshed, folks. As you can see, we've got a mess here. So a few weeks back, I was out here and I was stacking up a lot of this old firewood that had been here and some new firewood that needed to be split. And I stacked them up too high, and then one row fell into another row. And now you can see the mess that we have. We're gonna fix it. What we have here is all the new wood from the other day when I was cutting down the trees around the magnolia tree. Split, ready to be stacked. So what I'll do is I'll get these moved over to over here and put those on the bottom. That way they can be the last to be picked through and have plenty of time to dry. And most of this wood right here is good and dry, but it just fell over. It needs to be restacked. I've had success in the past of using 2x4s within cinder blocks and a 2x4 that runs down across the bottom, and you just stack them up. But this is pretty unlevel ground. Yeah, and as you can see, they tipped over here, but they also tipped over here too. So when I had originally done it, I had graded some of this out, tried to get it as flat as I could. Well, then it rained the next day and the ground got soft, and this is what we come up with. But I have a couple rows that are upstanding. I don't really want to take them down, but I may. But regardless, I got to get this cleaned up, so let's get after it. Some future plans that I have with this place right here is to regrade this front area right here, because it slopes down into the woodshed right there. And this whole property is actually graded really odd. It's pretty old though, but it was back in the 50s. They did what they call terracing. And this used to be an old cow pasture. And as you can see, it kind of grades down across the whole pasture right there. And then it really drops off back down over there in the corner. And so over time, erosion has made what it does right here. A bit of a mess, but I think that's something that we can get fixed along the way. My game plan here is to use the old 2x4s that I already had, but actually kind of do up a double row. That way I can do one set across, and then when I restack the next row, I'll do it perpendicular. That way they kind of lock into each other. That way maybe it won't fall down. And yes, I have poison ivy all over my face from cutting all those vines down the other day. Oh, it's been terrible. Now these 2x4s, they're just old junk 2x4s. I think one might be from a pallet. Don't even know. Here's another one that I have ready to go. So my plan will be try to use this open space right here. Probably double up my cinder blocks on each end. That way I can get a wider base and go from there. All right, here's what I'm trying to accomplish. As you can see, I've got the bottom row running left to right, and then the row on top of that running north to south right there. It's not pretty, but I don't really care. I mean, the goal is just to keep it from falling over. Now, I went ahead and grabbed some of the dry wood that was just right there because I didn't feel like moving it anymore. And by the time that I get down that low on the burn pile, all the wood will be just as dry as the other. So should be good to go there. I'll get back after it. test of the day. Does anybody know what kind of tree this is that I cut? It's kind of got like a scaly looking bark. It's kind of tough, but it's got this really light yellow wood. I don't know. All right, I finished stacking all the fresh wood that just got split. Now it's time to move on over to the dry wood that fell over. And the most likely scenario is I'm gonna run out of room before I get finished doing all that. But that's okay, I'll just get some more 2x4s and start over again. All right, here's the test. Let's see how strong it is. Yeah, that's pretty solid right there. Something fell off over here, but that's okay. I didn't have enough room to get the rest of the wood right there, so I'll make another one of these blocking type systems and get this wood up off the ground, but so far so good.